only on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at game number 16 in our 20 from the Nintendo Entertainment Series, or Entertainment System Series. And this is the only sequel to date of the 1985 film The Goonies. And this is a game, of course, and this is called The Goonies II. And this was created by Konami in 1987. And it is a very long, involving, but very interesting platform jumping adventure game. There are two lengthy maps that you need to take note of because there are a whole lot of doors that lead to different rooms in this game, and there is the front part of the map, and the red dot on the map is where you are, and there are all sorts of weapons and items that you can get that will help you in your adventure, and there is the back part of the map. And whenever you pause the game, you will see the part of the map that you're on. And you will also see all the items that you currently have. There are ways to lose some items or some weapons. You'll need to make note of that. And there is the Fratelli Gang. There's Ma Fratelli, played by Anne Ramsey in the movie, and her sons. And there's also a cousin of the Fratellis. And they're all after you, trying to get you. And it's been a long time since I saw The Goonies. I didn't like it as much as a lot of other people did, but it wasn't bad for it by any means. It was directed by Richard Donner, who directed Superman and The Omen. This is a very prominent director before The Goonies. And the song The Goonies R Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper plays in this game. Not throughout by any means, just a little bit. But the rest of the music tracks that were created by Konami are also fantastic. This game is just so well done in so many ways. Great music, great sound effects, great action, so many cool items and weapons. Oops. You don't want to fall to your death. You get 3 lives, and then you get to choose to just continue basically where you left off. Or you can quit and read your password. And we'll go ahead and get started. And right off the bat, we hear Goonies Are Good Enough by Cyndi Lauper. And it's a pretty good rendition of it. That is one of the doors in this game. And this is the first thing you want to get is the hammer, because the hammer will help you make certain other doors appear. Not the outside doors, but the inside doors to rooms. There are various spiders and snakes and, again, the Fratelli Gang that will come after you that you'll need to hit with your yo-yo. And there will be other weapons you can collect, and you can also collect keys. And there are safes, and you can use the key to open the safe, but for the most part, it's just going to give you a clue. But sometimes the safe will have items that you will need. You can easily run out of keys, and if you do, you might need to farm the enemies repeatedly, defeat them over and over as they respawn. And eventually you might get keys. For the most part, they either give you energy or they give you bombs. But notice that we are in a different area. There are different looking areas. And there is a Goonie Locator, or a magic locator device. When you pause the game and you are on the same side of the map as that Goonie, once you get the locator device, and you'll need one for each Goonie, I think. Although you don't really have to have it, you can still happen upon the room where they're at and rescue them, but it just shows you where they are if you are on that same side of the map, and there'll be a blue dot. And Mikey, who is the protagonist of this game, is a red dot on the map. And there are warp zones in the game. They can lead to a totally different area. Oftentimes you'll have to go through some sort of trickery to get to that warp zone. You can choose to hit a wall, and sometimes that'll make an item appear, or you can use the hammer. Sometimes they'll say this is a warp zone and you don't quite have the items that you need to make the warp zone appear. And I would need a ladder to climb up through that hole in the ceiling. And then I would be able to go to a different area through the warp zone. Since I don't have those items, I'm just going to have to go elsewhere. But there are different areas to each part of the map. There's almost an attic-ish looking type area, a storage type of area, like here. There are some underwater areas where you will need scuba gear, or a diving suit as they call it, to access. But there are a whole bunch of different doors in this game, and there I used the hit function to get a bomb box, and that will allow you to hold on to more bombs when you collect bombs. And the enemies will often leave you bombs, and there I used the hammer to make a door appear. Hey, guess what? It's a Goonie, and I have one last key. You need a key to rescue a Goonie. Mikey, you're late. I was almost killed. An ungrateful little turd. That might be a Chunk. The 6 Goonies that you must rescue are Chunk, Brand, Mouth, Data, Steph, and Andy. And the last 2 are girls. I believe that's correct. And once you rescue them all, then there is an original character in Goonies 2 that you need to rescue, and it is a mermaid, and her name is Annie. And once you rescue her, the game ends. There was a cousin Fratelli that I just beat with the yo-yo there. The Fratellis will respawn numerous times. Some of them can shoot you with a pistol or fire arrows at you. You will even face Ma Fratelli, who was played by Anne Ramsey in the movie. She's easier to take down than her sons, or her son's cousin. I don't remember the names of the other Fratellis, apart from just Ma Fratelli. But yeah, any room you're in, hit walls. You won't need to hit the left or right walls, but you'll need to hit the far wall, the ceiling, or the floor. There, I got this is a firebox, and this will allow you to hold more Molotov cocktails, and you can pick up Molotov cocktails, and the Molotov cocktails will be thrown a short distance from you, and the bombs will just be dropped directly below you. And here is an Arctic type of area. Yeah, try not to waste keys if you can help it. Here's another hidden door and another Goonie. I won't do a playthrough of this, I'm sorry, that would take way too long. This game is so long and involving. Yeah, the Goonies always have some sort of message for you once you rescue them. And if you collected an item called a transceiver, and we'll look at that towards the end of this video, then you can always hear messages from the Goonies when you select it in a room. we'll scoot forward. There's an Eskimo. There's all sorts of enemies that'll attack you, and in the Arctic area there's Arctic type enemies that will attack you, like an Eskimo, a penguin, a walrus, etc. And here's another warp zone. It's kind of another cavern type of area with vines for ladders. Not sure what that symbol is by the door. Get out of here if you have nothing to do. Well, here's what you do to this guy. You actually punch him 5 times with your hit function. And he will give you a candle. And you will need that candle, because some of the rooms will be pitch dark and you won't be able to see anything. I used to own this game. Boy was this fun. It can kind of test your patience because it's very, very long. It's probably about an hour or so to complete. But you'll probably want to write down your own map, and there'll be a lot of hitting of walls and hitting of ceilings and floors. But again, you don't need to hit the left or right wall. There will be no holes or doors to unveil on the left or right walls. Just the far wall, the floor, and the ceiling. Scoot forward. I'm just going to show you like really important parts of the game. Note that I'm getting hurt by those icicles. There is a helmet that you can pick up later on in the game that will provide protection, and they will not hurt you. And note that there is water here. When you see a hole with water, if you have acquired the diving suit, hey, there's glasses. You can also use glasses to see hidden doors or safes. But once you acquire the diving suit, and you saw that I picked up a boomerang, then you can go into those holes with water, and you can enter the underwater sequences, and we'll see that a little bit later. Hey, there I used the glasses and found a hidden door. And then this guy gives me the helmet. But we'll just see different parts of this game, important parts. And here is the bridge, and there is a hidden door here that you unveil with a bomb. You can switch over to a different weapon here. And there's a door. And you also get a couple different types of shoes that you can pick up that make you move faster or make you jump way higher. See, I'm a lot faster now. Now, you'll notice these skulls on the bridge, and if they touch you, they can take away one of your weapons. And here's a purple underground cavern area. One of the weapons they can take is, I think they'll take either your slingshot or your boomerang. And that is Konami Man. In a few areas, at least in the game, he will be in one of the doors, and he will restore all of your energy. And each time you rescue a Goonie, you get a whole new bar of energy. And you get all your energy refilled too, I think. It's another warp area. If you press select instead of start, which is kind of strange for a Nintendo game, you'll pause the game. And when you press start, ooh, I got keys. That's kind of rare when you kill enemies, but eventually they will give you keys. And you saw the blue dot. That is the Goonie. And there are a total of 6 Goonies to save, and then there is a mermaid known as, there's that Goonie, and I've got keys. Well, that's the kind of gratitude I'd like to see. Annie is a mermaid, and you will need to save her at the end of the game. But yeah, whenever you press start, instead of pausing the game, you will see the maps, and you will see the inventory of items and weapons that you have. But I'm just showing you the various different rooms and items. And hey, there's the diving suit. But yeah, anytime you see a floor with water in it, or a hole with water that you can dive into, that's where you can use the diving suit. And where it says tools, that's where you can use the diving suit. You can eventually come across a ladder, which will allow you to go into holes in the ceiling that you usually need to break first. And that is a waterproof coat. There will be areas where there's a waterfall that can hurt you, and the coat will keep it from hurting you. And we're back on the bridge here. One of the Fratellis hurt me. Ouch! When you run out of life, you will lose one extra man. Or boy. And once you run out of reserve lives, then you have the option to continue or see a password and write it down for later use. And whenever you continue or die, you'll pick up right in the same area that you were in when you last died. And now I'm going to use the tools and go to diving suit. You have to press, I think it's B, to cycle through the other tools. You'll see one menu of tools, and then you'll need to press B, and you'll go to the other tools that you have. Drop a bomb here. This is a hidden door. And note that when you're in the diving suit, you have a spear gun to shoot your enemies with. And whenever you press jump, and here in this hidden door, you get an extra life, a 1-up, from this creature from the Black Lagoon, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. And there's another box of bombs, which allows you to hold more bombs at once. But yeah, in each room, hit the far wall with your fist with the hit function, or use the tools and go to hammer and hit the far wall, hit the ceiling, hit the floor. Just keep exploring that way in all the rooms. Hey, there I got the ladder. The ladder is super important. And that's where I can use the ladder. Oops. And then just go up. And there's another Goonie. And I have a key left. You're 2 minutes late. How would you prefer if I just let you die? Idiot. But yeah, this game is super long, super involving, but super fun. I really enjoyed this back in the day. There is an item that I did not pick up yet, and we'll look at that later. It's called the transceiver. And note that I have 4 Goonies saved. It shows the Goonies at the bottom left. And in the underwater area, you can move from one area to the next via that, or you go from room to room via those little tubes. And here I get the jumping shoes. These let me jump really high vertically. Should sign up with a basketball team. Now, if you get, hey, there's the boomerang. If you get the boomerang stolen from one of the skulls on the bridge sequence, then you can find it again somewhere in one of these type of rooms. And we're back in the Arctic area. Shouldn't Mikey be freezing to death? I can't remember who all played which character in the Goonies movie. The song Goonies R Good Enough was originally not meant for the movie, and it was not going to be called Goonies R Good Enough. But I guess Cyndi Lauper's maybe management or pressure from the movie studio executives or something, I don't know, but finally got her to say or to change it to be about the Goonies, or to have the word Goonies in the title of her song. I think, was it Sean Astin and Corey Feldman are the only ones that I can remember from the Goonies movie. Other than, I think it was John Matusak, football player that played the monster sloth, the friendly monster sloth. It's been forever since I've seen the movie. And again, I didn't think it was quite as great as everybody else seemed to think it was. It's kind of a cool little time capsule. Oh, I think the kid that played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was in it. He played Data. I can't remember personalities of the Goonies either. But this area has dragons, and the dragons take a big chunk of energy off, as do those fireballs that come out of lava are pretty damaging as well. There's knights in a later area, and dragons just take way too long to put down. We're just gonna scoot forward to more parts of the game. I just wanted you to see each area, some of the things that you need to do in the rooms, the items that you need to collect. Hey, there's another Goonie. Thank you, Mikey. I felt my life almost ended. Yeah, some of them are grateful for your rescue, and some of them are just shits about it. Yeah, you will need to just make a grid of the map from Part A and Part B, and make it nice and big so you can make little notes about each room. Maybe make a side key of which doors are warp doors. Yeah, those knights are very damaging with their attack. And again, if you press start, then you will continue. If you press select, they will give you a password. And there's the password. It's got a whole bunch of dashes and characters in it. There are some passwords you can find on the internet that will give you a whole bunch of great items to start with. And there is there's another Goonie Locator, and like I said, I think there's one for each Goonie, and the Goonie will show up as a blue dot on the map if you're on the same side of the map as they are. Yeah, those big guys that are like knights or whatever can be super damaging if they touch you. But now that we've rescued enough Goonies so that there's 2 sets of life bars, and there's the boomerang I'm using. You gotta use it as many times as you want. There's also the Slingshot, but the Slingshot has limited firepower to it. And when you run out, then you can find another Slingshot, I think, maybe in one of the Arctic type of areas where we got the boomerang back after the skull from the bridge sequence stole it. I missed the opportunity to collect more keys, and I am out of keys. But yeah, if you run out of keys, you might need to farm enemies for a really, really, really long time, because they usually give you either a little life back, or they give you bombs, or maybe Molotov cocktails. But yeah, we're just skipping a little bit through the game so that you can see the remainder of the areas. And again, if you can't break open a wall or a door or a hole in the floor or ceiling, then use your glasses. Maybe you can see a door or safe or whatever with those. There will be a small handful of rooms that there is nothing in, and look how close I am to that Goonie. This part you have to wail on the jump button to keep from falling into the abyss and dying. I hate that there's a low ceiling over my head when I come out of the tube, because I keep falling into that tube. Yeah, I'm out of keys, so you have to... I'm gonna zoom forward after having farmed enemies for a long time, and finally I got 3 keys. And we'll save the Goonie. Thank you, Mikey. You are great. Yes, I am. And here's another warp zone. Hey, guess I'm gonna use the ladder right there. Climb up out of there. And what do I do here? Hey. Yeah, some rooms you just can't get anything from. But there's not very many of those. I think there's only like 8 of those type of rooms. And there's me using the jump shoes. And we have rescued all 6 Goonies. And now we need to find the mermaid, Annie the mermaid. You start off with 2 life bars. And then again, for each Goonie that you rescue, you get another life bar. So there's a total of 8. And once you have rescued Annie the mermaid, the game is over. And again, she was not in the original Goonies movie. I don't think there was any mention of Annie the mermaid in the movie. I bet you one of these days they'll make a reboot or a new Goonies movie. It seems that all the rage is remakes and whatever. I mean, I can understand the feeling for nostalgia for these older movies, even if they weren't always that great. The Goonies was filmed in my home state of Oregon, in Astoria, which is way at like the northwest coast part of Oregon. I've been to Astoria a number of times. I kind of like the seaside type of areas. I used to go to Seaside and Gearhart a lot. Kind of a touristy spot. Long streets leading out to the ocean that have all sorts of shops. It's a nice big arcade that still stands out in Seaside. That color of brown for that area, for some reason, makes me think of Cracker Jacks. Caramel covered popcorn. But we're near the end of the game, and now we got to use the ladder to climb up here. It's another warp zone. Now we go down to this attic type of area again, and there's Ma Fratelli I just knocked out. She doesn't appear anywhere else in the game, I don't think. But watch out for those knights; those are very damaging. And that winged skeleton fortunately jumps high enough for you to scoot under him. We'll scoot forward to me going in this door. And here's another warp zone. We are very, very, very close to the end. Of course, we've already rescued all 6 Goonies. But we just need to get to Annie and rescue her. And she is towards the bottom of map A. Map side A. And she is also in a... well, she's not in a cage. She's in like a vault, almost. Yeah, it's towards the bottom of that front side A map. Just scoot forward to me getting to the end here. Yeah, you gotta remember to use the candle in the dark areas. No, it's not the glasses. Didn't mean to use the candle again. No, not there. There we go. Yeah, I think we're real close. I think you take that bottom door. Some of those snakes will charge at you when they come close to you, so you gotta watch out for that. I think, yeah, here's a diving area. You know, a swimming area. So we are just about to Annie. And there's the door to Annie right down there. So let's beat Goonies. And I have keys. Ta-da! Thank you, Mikey. We beat the Fratellis. Oh, I did. You just sat there and got kidnapped. I love you, Mikey. Aww. Hurrah for Konami and the Goonies! Annie was rescued, and the Fratellis were arrested. Peace has arrived again in the town of Astoria, Oregon. Oh, Goondocks. Well, that was Goonies II. The end. And game over. Well, like I said, we're going to look at the transceiver, which was an item I did not pick up. We'll see where that's at and what it can do for you. You go in here, and you have to hit the wall, the far wall. There it is. And you will see messages from various Goonies or maybe Konami characters. I think Simon Belmont might have something to say to you, or a Konami man, when you use it in rooms. And you have to use it in the rooms. So we'll go over to a room over here and use it. And you'll get different messages in the different rooms. You might hear from other Goonies that might give you a hint. Sometimes it's just something of meager interest from, like I said, other Konami characters or other Goonies. This is Mouth, and I don't remember what character Mouth is. Find boxes for your bombs. Well, that was Goonies II by Konami in 1987. Terrific game. Game number 16 in R20 from the Nintendo Entertainment System series. Well, I hope to see you soon for game number 15. Y'all take it easy, everybody, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.